sir.
Gotta be consistent. Now, last week you had all the juice, and then you come morning. Like,
Good morning, sir.
come on,
How
bring
are you
it.
doing
I'm
today?
amazing. Amazing. Happy holidays.
Please elaborate. What's this week been like?
This week has been good. You know, obviously Christmas was a very good Christmas for the Raiders, an organization. But then we moved on. Great opponent, great opportunity in front of us. Another road game. Need to play well on the road, and you know, certain things travel on the road, and we need to bring it with us.
How's our offense looking?
Looks good. I mean, when that running back's back there running, that's different. We saw it last year firsthand, so we know exactly what we're dealing with. They're getting healthy. You know, we got to deal with Pittman, got to deal with a physical offensive line. It's a scary group because, you know, they can have a bad week and then they can explode one week, so we got to be ready for the best, and obviously they're fighting for a lot as well.
I know you've had walkthrough so far this week, but obviously have a practice today. Do you think Josh Jacobs might be able to get out there today?
Today, I don't know. That'd be a game time decision, just to be honest with you. I mean, no need to rush it. If he can go at 1 o'clock on Sunday, I'm happy with that.
And obviously, you want him to be out there if he can, but like, what was it like to see just Zamir White, you know, display his growth the last couple of weeks and show that if need be, he can be relied upon?
Well, one, he's earned reps, right? He's earned playing time. That's not going to change if Eight's there or not. Eight's our starting running back. That's not even a question. But Zamir's, you know, opened up some eyes. I think he's taking advantage of the opportunity, and that's the National Football League, right? You know, you give him a play or two or, you know, several weeks, you make the most out of it, and he's done just that. And I think he's earned the trust, the belief with our offensive staff and our O-line. I mean, I think that's huge when you get in the game the way we did last week. And his style of running. I mean, it's an explosive running back coming downhill. So a good change of pace back between him and Josh Jacobs.
How important is it going to be for you guys to get after the running, stop Jonathan Taylor, to make them a one-dimensional offense?
Yeah, it's always that way. I mean, I don't know any coach that would ever say anything different. You know, you want to make them one-dimensional. We feel good about, you know, our guys up front of doing that. We did a good job last week. We're going to have to do that consistently this week. They'll stay with the running game, though. I think that's the biggest difference from week to week. Certain teams will shy away from it. This team is going to do it all the way to the fourth quarter.
The most athletic guy when you watch him necessarily, but he seems to be able to make things happen when a play breaks down. Like, I guess, what have you seen from him in that department?
Yeah, I don't think you ever want to say athletic with quarterback. You want to say mobility. You know, he has the ability to escape. He has a good feel for the pocket, good pocket presence, good awareness there. And then, you know, it's a little different than what we felt with last week or dealt with last week with Patrick, is that this guy's eyes is down the field and he can make plays, and it turns off script plays, and that's difficult for a defense because now you're covering for 4, 5, 6 seconds, and that's not what we want to live in. So we got to be disciplined with our rush coordination. These guys got to do their jobs. They understand that. It's no different each and every week when you got a quarterback like this.
We've seen a bunch of players that grow and get better this season. Anything you can put your finger on as far as player development and things you've seen as far as guys taking that next step this season?
Yeah, I think it started early on. I think sometimes when you throw rookies in early, that's not fair to them. You know, they've had a long year preparing to be a professional football player. And really what you see, and I said this before, you see the opposite. You see rookies starting off the season, and then by November, December, they hit that rookie wall we keep talking about. Well, I think what we've done a good job of over the last 7 weeks is doing the opposite. You know, really turning the rookies up. We look like the fresher group. We got fresher legs out there. They're bringing more energy and juice. I mean, look at the guys that we're talking about. Tucker, Aiden, Zamir, you know, Munford. Big Mike when he was out there, you know, Trey Tucker. A lot of guys, you know, Jack Jones, you know, a lot of guys with a lot of juice in their legs that doesn't have the wear and tear of a vet. So what do I contribute that to? I just think, you know, believing in your players in the process, giving them more time to learn and study the playbook so they're not out there making mistakes early on and losing that confidence.
Coach, the defense has been playing great. Where or how do you feel like the defense can get even better?
There's a lot of ways. I mean, you know, we don't want to use the word great yet. We're getting better and better each and every day, right? When you talk about great, that's a different category. And I know we're striving for that, and we'll know that in the end of the season, how far we come. What do I contribute that to is guys really buying in and believing. Remember day one when I first stood here, I said my goal and what my challenge was to max energy. Well, now I think you're seeing our defense match max energy and effort, and now production. And you're seeing that. You know, at first maybe it was just Robert Spillane. Okay, now there's a couple other guys. Now you're seeing 11 bad boys hunting each and every play. Now it's a race to the ball, right? I call it roll call on the ball. Get 11 hats to the ball, everybody get in the family picture. So for me, it's very satisfying to see them buy into that, of what we talked about with the effort and matching your best players. You know, Mac's job is to bring all those guys along and keep striving to stay in front. That's what we want. And when we get that, you get the product that you get on the field.
What's the fine line between coaching a player tough and loving on them? And, you know, if they make a mistake, just kind of coaching them up and then at the same time showing them that love.
Well, I don't think it's tough. I think it's truth. Just give the players truth, man. Tell me the truth. AP, you suck. Cool. That's how you feel now. I get it. I got to get better. You know, you tell a player, hey, that was a bad play. Take the gray out of it. Just, this is what it was. This is good or bad. And I think most professionals, let me say that word really clear, professionals understand that. And then once you get a bunch of grown men that learn how to be professionals in this sport, you can handle both the love-hate relationship.
Have you found that that's been something that these guys embrace in that locker room? Is that truth?
Yeah, I mean, that's been day one. I mean, I don't sugarcoat nothing. I mean, it is what it is. It comes out how it comes out. Sometimes you got to bleep it out, but you get the point, right? I think they get the point, but they also know I'm going to love them up like no other. You know what I mean? I could be their biggest cheerleader. I could be their biggest critic. It's not going to be no gray.
You mentioned Michael Mayer also. Where is he in terms of his recovery, and do you think he could be able to play on?
No, he'll be out. He'll be out more than likely.
How has Aiden handled this past week as far as, last week, last 3 quarters, no completions? But how has he, you say he's even keeled. How's he done this week, and what's been your message to him this week?
Yeah, just get better. I mean, look, life of a rookie, and I keep talking about that. And I said it, and again, I don't want to reference it again, but the guy, you don't know when it's a good or bad day. He has that same poker face, which I appreciate and I love. I really think that takes a lot for a young quarterback to understand that and have that emotional balance of not to get into the highs and the lows of the National Football League and then to read the press, good or bad, because 2 weeks ago he was Joe Montana, right? Put him in the Hall of Fame type deal, right? Now, put him with the Bad News Bears. We're not doing that, man. He's a starting quarterback. He'll have his ups and downs. We got to do a better job around him, from coaches, play callers, players around him to bring him along. I never thought any day we were going to win a game because of Aiden. That was not the plan. It's not the plan going forward.
Coach, out of curiosity, just in a general sense, what goes into the decision to run your NASCAR package on defense?
I had success as a player. We did that when I was with the team that I played with and won some championships with. It was pretty good. Speed kills, man. You got length and bodies and guys that can rush. You get a guy like we got last week and another quarterback we'll face this week that can move around. As we talked about mobility there, that can buy time. Well, you can't buy time when you got speed and you're chasing him. He'll get tired eventually and we'll catch him and then we got to pound him.
When you look at your secondary with the meat, Trayvon and Nate from last year to this year, what's the biggest area of progression you've seen in, those 3 within the secondary becoming leaders?
I really attribute to film study. And then also the belief in what I've talked about with these guys is if you see it, believe it, go get it, right? And then don't second guess yourselves. These are guys who put a lot of time in film study with the coaches themselves. You go through practice. It is what it is. It's black and white, fellas. You see it, go get it. And I think the ability and the confidence that they know that if they make the play or don't make the play, we're not going to blink. All right, go get it again. But I always tell them, make an educated guess. Let's not just be random. And I think they've done a really good job of that. When they see stuff triggering in the run game and obviously in the pass game, we've had some great opportunities to either intercept the ball or punch it out.
Coach, you mentioned how disrespectful it was for people to ask the players what they were playing for recently. Well, now, mathematically, you're in a position where you could potentially even win the division out. How does it feel to have been able to come into this team and turn things around where, anything's possible?
Yeah, I think just belief. We talked about it, just handling what we can handle, what's right in front of us. You remember, I think the first thing I did, I pointed that big mirror, that front mirror in front of us, the window in front of us, and just looking forward and not looking back. Our message this week is horse blinders. Look at the Kentucky Derby, look at the great races. Don't look back, don't look on the side, right or left, just look right in front of you and make it real narrow, right? Tunnel vision. We know what's in front of us. We know what we're all chasing. We want to play in the month of January. We want to get a ticket to the dance as well, right? So, but how do we do that? We got to handle business this week in Indy and handle these Colts. And that's our main goal. We're not gonna scoreboard watch, we're not gonna do it. We're not even talking about it. And I get it. Appreciate everybody informing us, but that's not our focus.
Going back to film study real quick, Nate said in the locker room yesterday that Jack Jones studies film like no other. Like he kind of broke it down for him. What about Jack just breaks that down and allows him to be the guy he is?
Yeah, when Jack was younger, we had a lot of study hall at Long Beach Poly. You get what I mean? Those office hours led into watching film. The way Jack was as a player in person. So he's learned at a young age that film is important. He's carried that into his now professional career. It's good to see. You really want that with a lot of players. All of us should be a student of the game. This is our job, right? This is your job to know it. It's your job. It's nobody else, right? I can tell you all the information, but it's your job as a professional to go there and do what you need to do to get yourself ready and prepared to play. And he's done that, obviously, in the last 2 or 3 weeks by his performance. That's got to continue. But you'd like to see everybody doing it. If Nate's talking with Jack, then I'll say, Jack, why are you not bringing Nate? Why not bringing the meat? Where's the rest of the DBs? All the corners should be there. We should all be seeing the same thing, right? You know what this building is? It's silver and black. We should all see the same colors. Don't make up any other new colors and new schemes. All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Coach.